Tonight was about trading with Brazil. Very opportune to have this event really, because of course in the next 4 years we've got two major sporting events, the World Cup and the Olympics in Brazil, and some fantastic opportunities for UK companies to trade with that particular part of South America.
Opportunities, I would say that they are especially in two sectors. One, infrastructure. We need a lot of new infrastructure in Brazil. Our foreign trade has increased dramatically during the last 10 years. So we need new roads, we need airports, we need all sorts of infrastructure. So companies that export equipment for infrastructure, they will have tremendous opportunities in Brazil. So this is one point that I would emphasize. The second one is undoubtedly oil and gas, because Brazil made some huge discoveries in 2008 of oil, and this oil is located offshore. It's 300 kilometers away from the coast. It's very deep, but again, companies that have the expertise, companies that have equipment for oil and gas, they have a whole new world, a whole new market in Brazil.
According to plan, the procedure should be, you should start off, here in the UK you can use one pack and list one invoice in order to get your goods into the country, whereas with Brazil you have to have 5 copies of invoice, 5 copies of a pack and list, and they all have to be signed in blue ink. So this is reminiscent from the old days when Brazil was a closed border country, with a military government, and then everything was tied up, everything had to be notarized, everything had to be legalized by embassies, which still is to a point. But then those measures are in place to protect Brazil, the domestic industry, but also to protect Brazil from the Brazilians themselves. So things like this have to be taken into consideration. But what people should be aware of, they should be aware of not sending used equipment to Brazil. The market won't take used equipment. They should be aware of the weights and the discrepancies on paperwork. For example, they ship 1,000 kilos and then the paperwork says 950. So there will be a disbalance in there where the guys, the customs officers, they will look at it and then they'll put your cargo on hold as well. So these are the main things to look for.
The main issues that you've probably got to, if you're dealing with Brazil and you're selling to Brazil, is that it is 6,000 miles away, which means it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks for your goods to get there, which means for the Brazilian buyer, he's going to want some credit terms. So unlike normally if you're dealing in the UK, where you're probably giving 30 days open account, you're probably going to have to give maybe 90 days to make your goods a little bit more attractive. Interest rates are higher out there, so again, if you can give more credit terms, it makes your goods attractive. Talk to the bank. There are loads of ways which that can be funded, through export loans, through letters of credit, through UK EF, which is the UK government's support schemes, which means that the bank are going to be more than likely able to help you with funding your sales into Brazil.
The interesting thing, you go to a Brazilian beach in Europe, you see the Germans, the Italians or the Japanese all sitting in different places, and they all speak in the same language, their own language. You go to Brazil, you see people from all over the world, because you can see they are from different parts, they all speak in the same language, Portuguese. And that's, I think, is a great thing. Brazil is, in terms of different parts of Brazil have different characteristics, but the part I come from, you can eat food from all parts of the world, and it's a very diverse culture, and I think it's a positive.
Well, the next event is on the 17th of April, which is trading with Russia, Belarus and Kazakhstan. Again, Russia is one of the BRIC economies, one of the major growth economies outside of Europe. And I think there's real potential in these parts of Europe to increase our business presence.